Have you ever wondered how flowers get their colors? Can a plant produce flowers with new color? Hi, this is teacher Geraldine Rosales, and today we're going to talk about the non-Mendelian patterns of inheritance. Gregor Mendel proposed that traits are always controlled by a single gene with two alleles, and one of them is dominant over the other. However, modern studies have revealed that most traits do not necessarily exhibit a simple Mendelian pattern of inheritance and are controlled by multiple genes as well as environmental influences. Non-Mendelian patterns of inheritance include incomplete dominance, codominance, and multiple alleles. Let's first talk about incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance is a pattern of heredity in which one allele is not completely dominant over another. The result of the combination is a third phenotype, which is intermediate. Incomplete dominance can be observed among 4 o'clock plants. When a red-flowered 4 o'clock plant is cross-pollinated with a white-flowered 4 o'clock plant, the resulting plant or offspring will produce neither red nor white flowers. Instead, all flowers will be pink. This is the combination of two traits that results in the third phenotype. To understand more how these traits or genes are passed from parents to offspring, we will use Punnett square method. On one side of the square, we are going to put the genotype of one parent, which is the red-flowered 4 o'clock plant, one gene for each gamete or sex cell. And on the other side of the square, we will put the genotype of the other parent, which is the white-flowered 4 o'clock plant, one gene for each gamete or sex cell. Inside the first square, we will combine the genes from the two parents to form RW, R from one parent and W from the other parent. And what do you think is the genotype of the fourth possible offspring? The answer is RW. Now, let's solve a problem on incomplete dominance. Show the possible outcome of the cross between two pink-flowered 4 o'clock plants using Punnett square. To solve the problem, we have to use a Punnett square. We'll put the genotype of the first parent on one side of the square and then the genotype of the second parent on the other side. Then write the combination of the letters in the square, one from first parent and the other one from the second parent. The answer to problem number 1 is the possible outcome will be 25% of having red-flowered 4 o'clock plant, 50% of having pink-flowered 4 o'clock plant, and 25% of white-flowered 4 o'clock plant. Let us solve another problem for incomplete dominance. Show the possible outcome of the cross between pink-flowered 4 o'clock plant and a red-flowered 4 o'clock plant using Punnett square. To solve the problem, we have to use the Punnett square. First, identify the parents to be crossed. In the problem, the parents are a pink-flowered 4 o'clock plant and a red-flowered 4 o'clock plant. And then identify the genotype of the parents. Then combine the genes from parents and write the combination inside the squares. So the answer to problem number 2 is there is a 50% chance or possibility of having red-flowered 4 o'clock plant and 50% pink-flowered plant. Are you ready to learn about the second pattern of how traits are inherited? The next pattern of inheritance is called codominance. In codominance, both alleles are expressed equally in the heterozygous offspring or heterozygote. This results when one allele is not dominant over the other. The heterozygous offspring or heterozygote exhibits the trait of both parents. A good example of codominance is a roan. A roan is a cattle with both red and white fur or hair. When a red bull is mated with a white cow, they will produce roan offspring displaying white and red hair simultaneously. Let us solve a problem on codominance. A red bull is mated with a roan. what will be the phenotypic ratio of the offspring? To solve this problem, first identify the parents and their genotypes. Then put the genotypes of the parents on the sides of the square. Combine the genes inside each square to form the genotype of the offspring. The answer to problem 1 is phenotypic ratio of 2 red cattle is to 2 roan cattle. Problem number 2. What is the chance of resulting to white cattle when a roan is mated with another roan? To solve this problem, first identify the parents and their genotypes. Then put the genotypes of the parents on the sides of the square. Combine the genes inside each square to form the genotype of the offspring. So the answer to problem number 2 is there is only 25% possibility of having white cattle when 2 roans are mated together. Have you seen this kind of flower with white and red patches on its petals? It looks nice, isn't it? Do you have an idea why this flower displays 2 different colors simultaneously? Yes, it is an example of codominance. The third pattern of non-Mendelian inheritance is the multiple alleles. Whenever a given trait has 3 or more different alleles, we say that the trait has multiple alleles. One example of a trait that has multiple alleles is the human ABO blood group trait. Another example of multiple alleles is coat color in rabbits. Here, 4 alleles exist for the color gene. Let us solve now some problems on multiple alleles. What is the possible outcome when albino rabbit is crossed with Himalayan rabbit? The parents to be crossed are albino rabbit and Himalayan rabbit. Given the genotype, we can now use the Punnett square to predict the outcome. And the possible outcome is 100% Himalayan albino rabbit. The next problem is connected to the first problem. What is the possible outcome when first filial generation offspring are crossed? Can you identify the parents? The parents now were the product or offspring in the first generation. Both of the parents are Himalayan albino rabbit with a given genotype. To determine the outcome, we use the Punnett square. And the answer is, chances are 25% Himalayan rabbit, 50% Himalayan albino rabbit, and 25% albino rabbit. Now it's time to test yourself. Answers will appear after 30 seconds, so let's see if you can get all the 3 correct answers. I hope that this simple video has helped you understand non-Mendelian patterns of inheritance. And don't forget to never stop asking questions.